Risk tolerance is more of your perception, a person's perception of risk. Risk capacity is far more quantitative. What's necessary? They have investment resources. Do they need a high rate of return? Or in light of their circumstances, do they not need a high rate of return because they have substantial risk capacity? They have the capacity basically not to worry about the rate of return.
So we may have a client that has a wide capacity to take financial risk, but emotionally, they can't do it. So to get them the best portfolio for them, let's look at the two. And if they can take really as much or as little risk as they want, and they don't want to take much risk, let's not take much risk. Conversely, if they are really comfortable with risk, they can take as much as they want, they're not going to use the money anyway. It's ultimately going to go to the next generation. Let's be more aggressive with that portfolio. And what this allows us to do is help clients avoid decision risk, which is when markets go down, that desire to take action by selling to cash or selling to something more conservative at the wrong time.
We find that a lot with our older clients, that they have substantial peace of mind by holding cash. They're essentially losing 3% of their purchasing power every year. But that's outweighed by the peace of mind. Well, holding cash, is that going to be something that puts your financial plan at risk? If it's a substantial amount of cash, it might. But if it's a smaller amount of cash or some amount that's reasonable, we're okay with that. Debt, on the other hand, is a different consideration. Interest rates are very low, and the cost to borrow is very low. So for some clients, it's advantageous to actually hold on to debt. Our goal is to understand those decisions, share with them the pros and cons, weigh those, enlighten them if they have misunderstood some of the aspects of those pros and cons, and to help them understand the impact of decisions.
Change is a reality of life. It's just going to happen. We don't know when necessarily, we don't necessarily know how, but it's just part of the world. So when changes in life happen, when changes in markets happen, we always come back to the foundation of the financial models. And they're really informative. So for example, 2008, 2009 happens. Markets are down 50%. The headlines are screaming, get out now, sell now, and you're crazy if you're in. This is practically Armageddon. So consistently with all of our clients in this period of time, we revisited the models with them to say, this is all happening out here, but what does it mean to you? And consistently we found that it meant next to nothing for our clients who were already on a sustainable path. And the reason it meant next to nothing is because we had planned for the reality that the markets were going to go down. We knew they would go down at some point. No one knows when.
Throughout the course of a year or years into the future, events happen in life. Some are planned, some are not. When we're engaged in a relationship that starts with a deep understanding of their personal values and the people that are important to them in their lives or the organizations that are important to them, we're much more adept at being able to provide the right advice at that time and point in time when there's a new event in their life. Whether it's a career transition, the sudden loss of a loved one, a new passion that they've discovered, a place they want to travel to. Revisiting the financial plan in light of those new facts and circumstances is a really powerful exercise to hopefully revalidate that they're on a strong financial path going forward.